Hey everyone, it is Tuesday, and this is the Week 7 review. I want to thank all the online students for being patient with me. It took me so much to get this week's videos all posted and everything together. Last week was crazy. Not only did you guys have the midterm, you also submitted, or no, you had submitted prior to that your executive summaries. It's right here on the screen. So I graded those. I had to attend a virtual leadership conference with ASSP. I was part of the kickoff for the reaccreditation of the degree. I also had been hearing all of the final presentations from my research methods graduates. So crazy week, and I still have to get their final papers graded and posted by tomorrow. Busy. So let's get going with this. So as far as the executive summary goes, things kind of all equaled out here. The undergrads, you guys did about the same. The grad students did better. To be expected, they have more experience in writing. Overall, I think that some of you are getting it, but I think there's still some room for improvement. Here are the improvements. Make sure you're always reading the requirements of the assignment and write those down. That should be the first part of your plan. I'd make sure that you take tips from the lectures, because I do talk about and give you tips on what you should do to improve your project. So make sure those are then added to your plan. Look at the comments I provided you on your two previous submissions, particularly the last one. I tried to spend a lot of time providing specific feedback for you. And make sure that you don't commit the same mistakes again. Oh, geez, that's just like safety, right? The appearance is really, really important. So take the time to make something that looks really good. That actually carries quite a bit of weight in my eyes. So please, take the time. Make it look professional. Make sure the margins are good and the font's good and everything is the way it should be, and have somebody else look at it before you submit it. A couple other tips on the bottom. Make sure you state the purpose, methods, materials, and the statement of the outcome. That's always really, really important for the executive summary. So in the next project, you're going to be writing an executive summary based on the results of your data analysis. You're going to write a technical report, just like you saw, just like you reviewed for the executive summary you just submitted. You're going to write it, and then you're going to write the executive summary. The results need to be shown and described in text of narrative. So, this course has been all about data-driven decision-making and persuading management on what needs to be done to improve the safety program. So make sure that your message to management is grounded in the results of your data analysis, that you're referring to those results and explain what they meant in order to get management to invest in safety. And then make sure you're making an actionable recommendation, not a broad, we should invest, it's going to make things better. We should invest in this to get that. Okay, be more specific. I put the WIFM down here. What's in it for me? So let management know what's in it for them, what's in it for the organization. Please refer back to this when you're working on the assignment. Midterm, interesting. I don't enjoy it, but I enjoyed that. So we have a comparison here between the online section and the face-to-face. As you can see, things were fairly close. The face-to-face group spent a lot less time working on it, which I thought was a little peculiar because their average score was a little bit higher. So over here, we've got a breakdown of all things, including the midterm. It looks like the face-to-face class didn't spend as much time on the Canvas site, but they are in class for 2.5 hours. So if you add that on, it's pretty much equal. Their touches were a little bit higher. So they got in and they were looking at things. And maybe that was the difference. I don't know. And then I wanted to do a mid-semester comparison. This is all things considered. So the average and the median grade between the undergrads are fairly close. There's a wider range, a greater variance in the online undergrad versus the face-to-face. So theirs is a little bit more consistent. I don't know why. The grads, of course, are buoying or lifting up all these scores, but that's to be expected. They've got. But then again, also their grades are going to be recalculated a little bit differently because they redistribute it differently. So the big comparison would be this one, this undergrad to undergrad. Interesting. I don't see really any problems other than the classroom midterm. There were a few students who scored extraordinarily well based on what I've seen so far. And so I'm not going to accuse or investigate. I'm just going to suspect and I'm going to flag them. And I'm going to watch them as we go. And it pretty much verified that I will be doing an in-classroom final exam just to make sure there is no cheating. That they're honest. I shouldn't say that they're cheating. It's just so that everybody's honest. So, but again, 5% of your grade is the midterm. The difference of just 5 points is what it was. Comes out to be a percentage point or less. So it doesn't really matter. So let's go on to the project. It's now posted. You are evaluating a real work comp data set. I do have 2 graduate students so far that are going to do their own from their workplace. Awesome. I can't wait to work with them individually, but it's pretty much the same technique. So week 1, you're evaluating the quality of the data. You're conducting descriptive statistics results and doing a distribution. Fairly easy. For online students, just follow my videos. For in class, we're going to work on it together. Also, I will be doing office hours. It looks like I'll be doing on Thursday evening at 8 o'clock and Sunday evening at 8 o'clock, which works really well with due dates for you all. I could entertain a daytime office hour, but these are going to be the only evening office hours. And my students in my classroom, of course, can catch me before and after class as they need. Next week, we'll be doing outlier evaluation and forecasting over time. And the week 3 is policy class codes and accident causes, and then we combine them for week 4 and do some priority identification, and then we do the final recommendations with ROI. That's the 5 weeks, and then you submit it in the 6th week. Just a heads up, the weekly work can take anywhere from 2 to 10 hours based on what previous students have told me. So if you think you're just going to fit this in, even though you're really busy, it's not going to work. You need to actually set aside time each week now for the next 5 weeks, or else. That's basically it. The instruction videos are all there. You can work ahead. I recommend it versus working from behind. The WebEx stuff will be posted and sent out very soon. And my last recommendation is that you use a PC instead of a Mac. That you hopefully have a setup with 2 screens and maybe headphones so you can kind of follow along and pause and rewind as you need. That you have a reliable storage source or storage for your work. Be careful. You don't want to lose it. And then make sure you're using a good system of each week you should save a new document so that if it becomes corrupt, you can go back to what you had previously. Just giving you advice. So here's the last slide. And definitely Yoda hit this one on the head. No, try not, do or do not, there is no try. With this project, don't just kind of think you're going to get it done. You won't. Do it. Commit to it now. Do a little bit each week. Keep up. Ask questions. If you fall behind in this, it is almost impossible to catch up. And I've given you the maximum amount of time I can based on the way the semester is set up. There is no extensions. You take it incomplete, or you're just going to get the grade you get. That usually I try to compress it so there's time to be made up. But yeah, you got to take the bull by the horns and run with this. So my question to you, can you commit to a plan and manage your time to meet the deadlines? If you can't, you're going to lose points right there. Can you invoke the patience to teach yourself MS Excel? That's a big one. Because I know there's already students complaining, and I've had students whine to me before. I know this is difficult. I'm self-taught. Excel, I taught myself to do it. I'm here to help you. There are all kinds of YouTube videos to help explain it, or you can Google it. So sometimes when students ask me a question, I'm not sure, and I Google it and I find it. You should be able to do that too. This is developing your learning skill set, your problem-solving skill set. Up till now, a lot of your classes, it was just sort of, show up. As long as you're there, here's the answer to the question. Here's the question. What's the answer? This is, you got to figure it out. I learned to do that as an undergrad, and it made me better because I'm able to actually actively solve problems versus passively waiting for the answer to come along. The answer is what you get. Check your work and demonstrate it. It's not, I got to get the right answer. It's you got to solve it. That's what this is about. And that's going to be uncomfortable for some of you. I know this already. Can you muster the courage to prioritize this project and seek assistance? Do not email me and say, Here, I got a problem, fix it. Nope. You have to explain to me what you've attempted to do and define what the problem is, and then I can help you with it. It's important that you learn to be professional when you ask for assistance and not just yell at me and say, I've been working on this for 5 hours. It's like, you couldn't have been. Because the answer is very evident here. What's your thought process? You just kept doing the same thing and hoping it would work? Come on. Can you demonstrate professionalism in work and requesting assistance? That's another part of it. Demonstrate it. Not that you want it, demonstrate it. And can you display your intelligence and creativity in deliverables? Put in the time to make it look good. You could put in 50 hours to this and then present it to me as crap. I'm going to grade it as crap. You have to put in the time so it looks good, that it's understandable, that it meets the basic requirements of what I've asked you to do. I'm just being honest with you. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just trying to be honest with you. And a lot of you are probably taking this personal, like, oh, how dare he? Or, oh, now I'm really worried. I'm just being honest based on what I've experienced over the last 3 years. That you can't just wing this. Don't just think, oh, I got the data analysis done and now I'm done. You got to present it too. That's what the key is. This is a great opportunity for you. This is a skill set that you will use throughout your career. I have so many students coming back to me years after they graduate and be like, yes, I'm so glad you taught that to us, even though when I was there, it was really difficult. Again, when I was an undergrad, I was doing projects like this every 2 to 3 weeks in my classes, to be honest. At this level of magnitude, this level of work. 2 to 3 weeks per semester. And that's what made me better. It made me very comfortable with this type of work. If you haven't had that exposure, I feel bad. That's too bad, because you get better when you get challenged. If you're not challenged, how can things improve? All right, I'm going to shut up. Email me if you got any questions.